Congratulations on taking the PSAT. Now that you have your PSAT results, let's look at how you can make the most of your test results and your College Board online access. You may be wondering what the big deal is with the PSAT. With that in mind, we'll be talking about three aspects of this test. First, what is the big deal about this test and why is it so important that you do your best on it? Second, now that you have your results, when can you learn about your college readiness and how can you use your results to determine which AP courses you might want to take? And third, what do you do with the results after you have reviewed them? There are several reasons to take the PSAT seriously. The P in PSAT stands for preliminary, making it a first look at your college readiness. Taking the PSAT allows you the opportunity to see exactly where you are in relationship to getting the scores you need on the SAT in order to go to the college of your choice. Using your PSAT scores, you get free, personalized online practice for the SAT through Khan Academy. It is also a college's first look at you as a potential student. If you perform well on the PSAT, you will find yourself in the college tracking system, making you eligible for early scholarship offers. In other words, it could bring in some big bucks to help pay for your college education. Speaking of scholarships, when you take the PSAT in the 11th grade, you become eligible for the National Merit Scholarship Program. This is a highly prestigious award. The qualifying score for seniors in the 16-17 school year was a 1460. The qualifying scores for seniors in the 17-18 school year will be announced in the spring of 2017. Also, if you're a Hispanic Latino junior and take the PSAT, you can be invited to apply for academic recognition as part of the College Board's National Hispanic Recognition Program. Every year, 5,000 Hispanic and Latino students of the 250,000 students taking the test are honored. And if you're wondering if AP classes are right for you, your PSAT results can be used to identify your AP potential for 23 different AP exams. Your PSAT results will come in two different reports. One is online and the other is on paper. The online report is the most comprehensive report, and that's the one that will be used to connect you to your personalized practice on Khan Academy, and it will also outline your AP potential. You will get your online results in early December. The paper reports will be sent to your school in January. In order to access your PSAT scores, you will need an account with College Board. Go to studentscores.collegeboard.org in order to access your scores. If you already have a College Board account, you can simply sign in. If you do not, you will want to sign up for a College Board account. You'll begin the process of creating your College Board account by clicking on Sign Up, and when prompted, you will click Leave this page so that you can go to the registration process. On this form, you will be required to give some general information. Everything that has a red asterisk is required. Make sure that when you give your email address that you use a permanent email address and not your school-provided email address. Once you graduate from high school, the school-provided email address expires. If you can't find the school that you're currently attending, you can search for it by zip code. Use a username and password that you will remember, and then you'll be prompted to actually pick a security question. You'll want to pick a security question where you can actually remember the answer. Something that may work well for you is to pick the one that says what's the last four digits of your social security number or what's the last digits of your driver's license. These are things that you can actually look up when prompted if you need to. You'll need to give some information such as your address. Parent information is optional. If you would like, you can also include your parents into an email service and also a parent newsletter. Upon completion of this, you do have to click the I agree with the terms and conditions of this before you actually click Next and finish the registration process. After logging in, you'll be directed to your personal dashboard. What you will see on your dashboard will be your most recent scores. The total for the PSAT can range from 320 to 1520. In this example, the total is 860, which is the sum of the math score added to the evidence-based reading score. In this case, there is a 380 in evidence-based reading and writing and a 480 in math. Now click on Details to review your detailed report. Here is an example of a detailed report. Next to each score is a range of the minimum and maximum score. Under each score, you can see where your score range is. Each student's score is placed within a range instead of being considered a single point of reference, allowing for variabilities in test forms. Another part of your PSAT score report is your predicted score range for the SAT. In this case, this student's SAT score range should be close to reaching the benchmark score for college readiness. However, in this case, this student would want to do some extra preparation for the SAT in order to make sure that they meet the college readiness benchmark. You will also receive individual test scores for reading, writing a language, and math. Within this information, you'll know how many total questions were included on the test, how many you got correct, how many you got incorrect, and how many of the answers were omitted. You will also receive 2 cross-test scores, one for science and one for social studies. These scores come from individual items on each of the tests that deal with the subject matter for science and for social studies. You will also see some sub-scores. Each test is broken down into smaller categories that identify content or skills that will help you determine your strengths and weaknesses so that you can help prepare yourself for a higher score on the SAT. You may have also noticed that your test scores have been color-coded. Green means you've met or exceeded the benchmark. Yellow is approaching the benchmark. And red means that you need to strengthen your skills in that category or skill. Below each test score is a percentile ranking. This percentile ranking is used to compare you to all the students across the country who actually took this test with you. A 29th percentile ranking means that this student scored the same or better than 29% of the students who also took the test. If you're in the 11th grade, you're compared with 11th graders, and if you're in the 10th grade, you will be compared with 10th graders. If you are a 9th grader who took the PSAT instead of the PSAT 8-9, you will be compared with 10th graders. This percentile ranking lets you know how competitive you are with other students across the country. By clicking the Test Questions tab at the top of the page, you'll be taken to an item analysis for each one of the tests. This allows you to look at each test item by item. You'll be given the correct answer for the item, your answer for the item, and the difficulty level of the test. Across the top is a key that shows you which ones are correct, which are omitted, and which are unscorable. Unscorable means that the machine could not determine the correct answer from your answer document. You will also be given a key to determine which items were easy, which were medium, and which were hard. And across the tabs, you'll see the tabs for each one of the tests that has an item analysis. You can click on the test question number to take you directly to the test item. You can review the test item and the text related to it. You can also click on the View Answer and Explanations. You'll see why the correct answer was correct, and you'll also be given an explanation for the incorrect answer and what made it incorrect. Another piece of information you'll get when you go back to the test questions is from the column Sub-test scores and cross-test scores. This allows you to determine which of the items were used to create your sub-scores and cross-test scores. You can click on them to get an explanation for what the actual sub-score or cross-test score is. The Skills Insight tab takes you to the information that will let you know what your strengths and weaknesses are based on this test. The left column would be those that you are strong with, and the right column is what you need to improve. The score is also color-coded, in this case yellow meaning approaching benchmark, and you have a link to the reading questions that will actually take you to the item analysis we just looked at. You will also have a reminder of what the range of scores are for this subtest. You have a tab for the writing and language test and the math test that will allow you the same information. For the math, you will get 2 different pieces of information, one with calculator questions and one without. You'll get the same color-coded score and the range. One of the pieces of information you'll also get from your strengths will be a link to actually let you know what sub-score that the skill relates to. In this case, you have problem solving and data analysis, so this is a component where you're actually strong. And another sub-score would be the heart of algebra. So these are brief summaries of what that sub-score is so that you'll be able to determine in what areas your strengths are based on the sub-test scores as well. The last tab is the National Merit Scholarship Competition Selection Index. This index determines if you are eligible to enter the National Merit Scholarship Competition. This index score is determined by adding your reading, writing and language, and math test scores and multiplying by 2. If there is an asterisk by this index, that means you're not eligible. In order to be eligible, you have to be in the 11th grade when you took the test and be in the 12th grade the next school year planning to graduate. For more information on the National Merit Scholarship Corporation, you can go to www.nationalmerit.org. Now that you've looked at your detailed score reports, let's go back to the dashboard and click on the tab that says AP Potential. Your PSAT scores can also show you what AP courses you show potential in, so that you could possibly earn college credit while in high school with a passing AP score. 3 dots shows you have potential for that course. 2 dots, you have some potential, and 1 dot simply means that you have not shown potential at this time. If you scroll down the website, you will see the courses that are actually offered at your campus and your potential for those courses. If you scroll up to the drop-down menu that says Select a Major, you can look at majors that are offered at most colleges and see what AP courses would be best for those majors. If you select Applied Mathematics, if you scroll down, you will see that statistics is an appropriate AP course to take for that major. If you go back to the drop-down major and actually click on Biotechnology, you will see that biology and chemistry are appropriate AP courses for that major. And for one last look, let's look at creative writing. For that major, English Language and Composition is an appropriate AP course, allowing you to pursue college credit for the major that you may be interested in. You can also scroll back up and click on the View All AP Courses so that you can see all of the AP courses that are authored through College Board. In January, your school will receive 2 paper copies of your paper score report. The paper score report is a summary of all of the information that you received online. It will have your total score and your score for your evidence-based reading and writing and for your math. You will also receive your test scores by subject, your sub-scores, and your cross-test scores. You will also receive your percentile ranking so that you will know how you rate nationally compared to those who took the test with you. You'll also get a reminder of what your score ranges are and what they represent. You will also receive your National Merit Scholarship Selection Index. It will explain how it is calculated and whether you are eligible for the National Merit Scholarship Program. A summary of your skills insights will be included by test, including the writing and language test, the math test, and the reading test. Now that you have your scores, here is a list of things that you will want to do in order to prepare yourself for the best possible score on the SAT. The College Board website also has additional resources that will help you prepare for your future. One of them is called Big Future. From this website, you can find colleges, you can create a plan for college, you can find ways to pay for colleges, and search careers. The My Road Personality Explorers helps you determine your interests and what careers you may want to explore that relate to those interests. They also have a student search service that connects you with colleges and universities that may be looking for a student that is just like you. Now that you know the information that's included in your PSAT scores, take the time to log into your College Board account and explore the options and begin the next steps of your future.